The day the wind came alive was the day everything changed in Willowbrook. It began innocently enough. A warm spring afternoon, the kind that pulls families outdoors and paints the sky with the vibrant colors of kites. Kids laughed as their creations danced and looped in the air, and adults watched from lawn chairs sipping lemonade. The annual Willowbrook Kite Festival was in full swing. At the edge of the field, a peculiar stall caught my eye. Amid the booths selling popcorn and trinkets stood a small wooden cart, its paint faded and peeling. Above it, a hand-painted sign read, "The Sky's Secrets, Kites That Speak." The vendor was an old man with a crooked smile and eyes that seemed to hold storms within them. Spread before him were kites unlike any I'd ever seen. Their fabrics shimmered unnaturally, shifting between patterns as if alive. "Care for a kite, miss?" he asked, his voice raspy yet soothing. I hesitated. Something about the way his words lingered in the air sent a shiver down my spine. "What's so special about these?" He chuckled, leaning closer. "These kites, they don't just fly. They speak. They whisper truths carried on the winds. But be warned, some truths are best left unheard." I should have walked away, but curiosity rooted me in place. After a moment's pause, I chose a kite, a deep crimson one, its edges trimmed with black. It was beautiful, mesmerizing even. As I handed him the money, he gripped my hand firmly. "Don't let it fly too high or you might lose more than the kite." The festival field was packed with families, their laughter and shouts filling the air. I found a quiet corner away from the bustling crowd, and prepared to test my new kite. The moment it caught the wind, something changed. The world seemed to quiet, the chatter of the festival fading to a distant hum. The kite soared effortlessly, its crimson fabric glowing against the blue sky. Then it spoke. At first it was faint, a soft whisper carried by the wind. I dismissed it as my imagination. But as the kite climbed higher, the whispers grew louder, more distinct. "Jessica." I froze. My name. I looked around, but no one was near me. The whispers continued, intertwining with the gusts of wind. "Do you remember? The swing?" My chest tightened. The swing. The memory surged forward. My childhood best friend, Lily, laughing as we pushed each other on the old swing behind my house. The last day I saw her before she vanished. The kite tugged harder against the string, pulling as if it had a mind of its own. I tightened my grip, my heart racing. "Jessica," the whispers grew insistent. "The swing, the woods, you left her." Tears stung my eyes. I hadn't thought about that day in years. Lily had begged me to go into the woods with her, but I was scared. I ran home, leaving her behind. By the time anyone realized she was missing, it was too late. "No," I yelled, pulling the kite closer. "It wasn't my fault." The kite twisted violently in the air, its whispers turning into an almost mocking laughter. The wind around me intensified, swirling like a vortex. The laughter stopped abruptly, replaced by a single chilling sentence. "She's still there." My blood ran cold. "What do you mean?" I whispered, my voice barely audible over the howling wind. The kite pulled harder, jerking me toward the edge of the field. I stumbled but refused to let go. The whispers became a chant, a chorus of voices urging me forward. "Find her. Find her. Find her." Before I knew it, I was standing at the edge of the woods. The kite tugged insistently, leading me deeper into the forest. The air grew colder, the sunlight dimming as the trees thickened. The whispers guided me, growing louder with each step. I reached the old swing. It was still there, swaying gently despite the stillness of the air. Beneath it, the ground looked disturbed, as if something, or someone, had been buried there. "Dig," the kite commanded. My hands trembled as I dropped the string and began clawing at the dirt. My nails broke and blood smeared the soil, but I couldn't stop. After what felt like hours, my fingers scraped against something hard. A box. I pulled it free and pried it open. Inside was a single, tattered shoe. Lily's shoe. The whispers grew deafening. "You left her. You abandoned her." "No," I screamed, clutching the shoe. "It wasn't my fault." The wind around me roared, the kite spiraling wildly above. Shadows emerged from the trees, their forms indistinct but menacing. They circled me, their voices joining the chant. You must make it right. The kite descended slowly, hovering just above my head. Its fabric shifted, forming a face, Lily's face. Her eyes stared into mine, filled with sorrow and accusation. Why did you leave me, Jessica? I'm sorry, I sobbed, collapsing to my knees. I was scared. I didn't know. The face softened, but the whispers didn't stop. You can fix this, Lily said. You can bring me back. The kite drifted down, its string wrapping around my wrist. I felt a sharp pain as it tightened, cutting into my skin. The world around me spun, the shadows closing in. Fly higher, Lily's voice urged. Bring me back. With trembling hands I stood and let the kite rise. It climbed impossibly high, disappearing into the darkened sky. The string burned against my palm, but I didn't let go. As the kite vanished, the world around me shifted. The forest grew silent, the air heavy with anticipation. And then I heard it, a laugh. I turned to see Lily, her small form emerging from the shadows. She looked exactly as I remembered, her smile bright and mischievous. Thank you, she whispered before turning and disappearing into the woods. When I returned to the festival field, the world felt different. The sky was brighter, the air lighter. The old man and his cart were gone, leaving no trace behind. I looked down at my hands, the kite string still wrapped around my wrist. But the kite was gone, its whispers replaced by silence. Even now, I wonder if it was real. But sometimes on windy days, I hear a familiar voice calling my name, carried by the breeze.